After following Connor for 8 years, he finally did something substantial. I was extremely happy, thinking that my long companionship had finally received a response. Until I heard him sneer in front of his good buddies. Everyone knows how to respond to me, but she just lies there like a dead fish. Her poor skills drive me crazy. She probably thinks this is what being together is like. It's quite funny. Does she even deserve it? I froze at the door, my blood turning icy cold in an instant, my mind going blank. Subconsciously, I thought I must have heard wrong. How could the person who gently called me baby last night say such a thing? Connor is really living the good life, being both a big star and having a beautiful screenwriter. Connor's voice was nonchalant. I'm enjoying the good life? It's Sienna who's enjoying it, right? Always lying there like a dead fish, completely relying on me to guide her. Someone immediately chimed in, after all, she's flat as a runway, it has to be Laura. Does she even compare to Laura? Even the stray cat Laura's family keeps makes more noise than her. Connor sneered. I think she's a bit naive, so I'm helping her gain some experience, showing her what's really good, so she won't be deceived by men with poor skills. Laughter erupted in the room. Turns out it's charity work, how wise of Connor. Sienna should be kneeling in gratitude to Connor, the hottest future movie star in the industry. Who else would get such an opportunity? Seeing her constantly pestering you day after day, she probably can't stop smiling even in her dreams now. Connor's mouth curled slightly as he stood up. Alright, I still have a scene with Laura, let's talk later. He then shook his head on his own and sighed, even Laura's bed scene is more interesting than teaching someone else's moves. After all, it's really dull when a wooden person makes noise. I quickly hid in the adjacent dressing room, covering my mouth to prevent myself from crying out loud. In the corridor, there was Laura's soft, complaining urging. Connor, hurry up. Weren't you the most excited about this play? Connor said in a playful tone. Getting anxious? Oh, Connor, you're so naughty. The noise faded away, leaving only me slipping to the ground, crying uncontrollably. I had followed behind Connor for 8 years, accompanying him through thick and thin, witnessing his journey from a bit part actor to the widely recognized future movie star. When he had just graduated, he couldn't get any roles. I buried myself in writing scripts and gave them to the production teams for free, with just one condition: let Connor be the male lead. He acted for 8 years, and I let him be the male lead for 8 years. Fans all say he's great at choosing scripts, every role over the 8 years suited him perfectly. I often secretly delight in the fact that it's all a script tailored for him by me. I know everything about him, how could it not be suitable? Connor has always been lukewarm towards me, not openly acknowledging our relationship, and I don't really mind. I thought that since Connor allowed us to live together, called me baby, and did all those intimate things, he would eventually give me a proper status. Last night, Connor got drunk, and we shared the same bed. Despite having just finished my period and feeling very weak, with little experience, I still tried my best to accommodate him. This was his first initiative in 8 years, and I thought we had finally achieved something meaningful. But his few words shattered all hope once again. By the time I came to my senses, my tears had dried up. Cheers came from the set, and I heard the director say that the bed scene between the two of them was brilliantly shot. Blurrily returning to our little home, I caught sight of the medication and the sticky note on the table. Don't let anyone see the strawberry mark on your neck. Left by Connor. Recalling the tenderness of last night, he gently stroked the bruise, affectionately telling me, "You're such a good baby," promising to be more gentle next time, lest he feel too heartbroken. Touched by his gentle consideration, I told him there was no need to worry about me. Now, recalling the words he said in the actor's room, I feel as if my body has become somewhat tainted. I'm not unaware that he and Laura have gone viral online, the new rising film emperor paired with the delicate yet radiant little white flower, seen by the entire internet as a perfect match. But I still brainwash myself, thinking they are just surface-level interactions and won't go any further. Over the years, he has shown ambiguous signs with many people. I mentioned before, and he just replied to me irritably, "It's all for work needs, can't you not be so sensitive?" Over these 8 years, I have searched for every reason to exonerate him. But this time I am somewhat weary. Sienna, you went to see him again? Her best friend called, her tone filled with exasperation. Don't say I'm slandering your dear husband again, just take a look at this video, it's almost like they did it right there. Connor gently placed his hand on Laura's shoulder, their bodies pressed tightly together, lips and teeth entwined, embracing in a kiss. From the floor to the stool and then to the bed, a full 5 minutes. The director shouted cut several times, but the two of them paid no heed. It took a long while before they reluctantly parted. The final scene showed Connor with an indulgent smile. Sweetie, did I hurt you just now? I was momentarily stunned, feeling that smile become increasingly dazzling, piercing my heart with spasms of pain. Such a gentle smile and words, for 8 years, he had never shown them to me. Not even last night did he ask if I was in pain. The comment section is even more lively. I knew the couple I ship is real. It was supposed to be just a quick kiss, but they kissed for a full 5 minutes. If that's not love, what is? So horny and so cool, it's perfect. I'd be happy if the whole drama was just their play. I scrolled through the comments like I was torturing myself, crying with tears streaming down my face. Sienna, don't blame me for speaking harshly. Clara grabbed the phone and wiped my tears. Someone online caught you going to the filming location to look for Connor multiple times, branding you as a stalker and harasser, and now the entire internet is. Where's Connor? He must have seen it, yet he's still stealthily enjoying his new flame, trending on the hot search. It's been 8 years, he doesn't go public or get a certificate, flirting around every day. Listen to your sister's advice, will you stop belittling yourself? I'll listen to you. I took a few deep breaths, smiling bitterly as I shook my head. I'll listen to you. Once this play is finished, he won't be the leading man in my script anymore. My script portrayed him as a devoted lover, but I forgot that actors excel at turning fiction into reality. 8 years have passed, and he has never shown any further commitment, always hiding our relationship and frequently being rumored to be involved with other actresses. In this tug-of-war, the only one trapped is myself. I have come to realize and see through it all. Immediately contacted the director of the next project. The director is a good friend I've collaborated with many times. Even before I wrote a single word of the script, we had already decided that the male lead would be Connor. You don't want Connor as the male lead anymore, or else we'll cancel the collaboration? The director's tone was filled with surprise. Did Sienna really say that? I actually laughed. Turns out, in others' eyes, I am so indispensably tied to Connor. Sienna, actually. Connor's star has risen sharply, and the investors want him, not necessarily your script. I'm not selling that script. The director was stunned, evidently not expecting such a decisive response from me. All right, there won't be a chance to change your mind later, you know? I hung up the phone and quietly packed my luggage. Clara had invited me to travel to Yunnan for a few days, which was just the thing to clear my mind. Deleted all mutual friends with Connor, and when I flipped to his homepage, I involuntarily stopped. The background image of his moments is still the heirloom necklace from my family. A rare flowing flower jadeite gemstone, passed down through generations in the Su family as a dowry for the married daughter. In the toughest moments right after we graduated, in order to afford a year's rent for a single room in the center of Shanghai, I secretly sold this necklace at a low price to a foreign merchant behind my family's back. Such an act is grounds for being expelled from the family lineage, so I still haven't dared to tell my family. When Connor learned about this matter that year, his eyes reddened almost instantly, and he held me tightly in his embrace, unable to utter a single word for a long time. When he finally spoke, his voice was hoarse. Sienna, following me, has really been unfair to you. I will make you happy, I will get the necklace back, I promise. At that time, in a cramped space of less than 10 square meters in the bustling city, the only thing the two young people had was each other. I know that the love in his eyes at that moment was not false. But it was only a fleeting thing. Now, Connor has long had the money to redeem the necklace, yet I've never heard him mention it, and I'm too embarrassed to bring it up. Perhaps he has completely forgotten about it. Tears fell without any sensation, and my heart ached in spasms. Today, I cried until I was exhausted and fell into a deep sleep leaning against the bed. Until late at night, a pair of large hands lifted me up, placing a kiss on my lips. Groggily opening my eyes, the person before me overlapped with the young man in the rental apartment. I murmured softly, "Connor? Connor." "Little sleepyhead awake?" the man chuckled, his warm breath falling on my neck. Realizing it was Connor, I couldn't help but feel a wave of nausea. Silently getting up, the unbuttoned buttons were buttoned back. Connor's hand paused in midair, his eyebrows lifting slightly. "What's wrong? Did I hurt you yesterday?" "Sienna, I promise I won't make you uncomfortable today." He bends down to give a kiss, and I turn my head to avoid it. "I'm not good at this." He pauses again, a smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. "It's fine, with me as your coach, I guarantee to take your skills to the next level." He clasps my waist. "Be good, I'll show you something nice later." Haha, I laughed out loud. "Thee has seen countless people, I'm not worthy." The air froze for a moment, and Connor slightly furrowed his brows. "What do you mean?" I remained silent. He paused for a bit, then nodded as if suddenly enlightened. "Me and Laura's scene that went viral? Are you jealous?" He leaned in again. "It's just a marketing tactic, why would you let something like that bother you?" I felt uncomfortable all over, struggling to push him away, but his grip was too strong. "Let go of me, I don't have the stamina to kiss you for 5 minutes." "Stop messing around, Sienna, isn't this the play you wrote yourself? How can you blame me now?" Slap. The crisp sound of a slap made the air freeze again. Connor's face darkened, and his hands finally released. "Sienna, is this ever going to end? If you want to argue, at least give a reasonable reason. I've already said that trending topics are just a promotional tactic. If you can't even accept this, you wrote a bunch of intimate scenes for the next project. Are you going to give me a hard time again then?" I rolled off the bed, the chill from the floor shooting straight to the top of my head. "There's no next part." Connor's face darkened further, his hands gripping my shoulders. "I really don't understand you, is it worth sulking to this extent?" I pushed him away forcefully, and he stepped back, causing a green floral pendant necklace to fall out of his pocket. "I redeemed it for you, your family's heirloom necklace. Haven't I been good enough to you? Don't be unreasonable, okay?" I swatted his hand away, avoiding the gaze filled with annoyance. "Connor, I'll pay you back for this necklace later, I need to leave now." "Suit yourself." He watched me tidy up my clothes, irritably rubbing his hair and flinging the necklace onto the ground. "Are you really treating me like the little actress who has all the time in the world to play with you? I'm different now, your script can only be given to me alone. You're not busy, but I still have a mountain of things to do. Think about it carefully, I can't always wait for you at the same place." I silently picked up my suitcase, the door slamming shut behind me. My eyes, disobediently, reddened again. Just then, the elevator on this floor opened, revealing a voluptuous beauty standing inside. Outside, a heavy rain was falling, her white tight dress dampened in places. I recognized at a glance that it was Laura. As I descended in the elevator, she walked towards our room. "Connor, are you there? Someone's here to see you." The next morning, Laura posted a message. She was wearing the floral pendant necklace around her neck, her collar slightly disheveled. Her mood plummeted almost instantly. He clearly knew what this heirloom necklace meant to me. Further down is an interview Connor just gave. The reporter asked if Connor has a girlfriend, to which Connor raised an eyebrow and smiled lightly. "Not yet, but I believe it's approaching soon." This sparked another frenzy among the CP fans. Word on the street is that the seller of that necklace was a girl who, to support her boyfriend's acting career, didn't hesitate to sell her ancestral dowry at a low price. The year she sold the necklace just happened to be Connor's debut year. Now that Laura is wearing the necklace, could it be that? Could it be that Laura is the girl who went through hardships with Connor back then? Absolutely. OMG, I'm shipping them so hard. I always felt there was a sense of destiny between them. Ding dong. Connor's message. Where did you go last night? Have you had enough fun? Did you take everything? Is it interesting, because eventually you'll have to move it back and it'll be tiring for you. He sent a long string of messages, but I was too lazy to read on. I blocked and deleted him in one go, then bought my plane ticket. Before going to Yunnan, I need to return to the film set. To always be by his side, the laptop I use for writing scripts has been kept there. Bringing him freshly cooked meals every day, watching him act while writing scripts, used to be the happiest thing for me. Now, I can't even empathize with my past self. Inside the film set, Laura nestled closer into Connor's embrace. Connor, I'm so cold. Connor shook open his coat and draped it over her shoulders. Laura stood on tiptoe and gently kissed his cheek. Connor, you're so good to me. Of course. Connor forced a smile and did not evade Laura's kiss, though his gaze did not fall on her. I deliberately chose the route farthest from them and hurried towards the actor's room. It wasn't that I felt particularly guilty, I just didn't want to have anything more to do with Connor. I had just reached for my computer when someone grabbed my arm, tightly clasping my wrist. I didn't need to turn around to know who it was. You blocked me? I looked up, staring at him coldly. Please, Mr. Big Star, move aside and don't block the way. He braced his foot against the door frame, his expression grim. Sienna, if you don't come back tonight, don't ever come back. I wasn't planning to anyway. The air pressure inside the room was terrifyingly low, and all I wanted was to get away from the person who was suffocating me as soon as possible. Connor followed closely behind me, slamming the door shut with a bang. The director came running over to ask him. Connor, the scene coming up is a bit intense. Is it still like you requested before, where we use stand-ins for all such scenes? No need. Connor stared at my back. Before the shoot even started, he couldn't wait to press his lips against Laura's nape, whispering in her ear, "Come to my room after we're done." It was an extremely ambiguous sentence. For some reason, Laura sensed a hint of irritation in it. Arriving in Yunnan, I spend my days watching the Arai Lake with its winds rolling the clouds, playing with the cats and dogs on the streets, and sometimes going shopping with my girlfriends. This leisurely life has made me realize that I can feel happiness not only when I am with Connor. Unexpectedly, screenshots of me and Connor in the actor's room suddenly started circulating online. The photo froze at the moment I pushed Connor away, with my hands on his waist and my head against his chest, making it look like I deliberately got very close to Connor. It was precisely when Connor CP fans were at the peak of their popularity that I, a sudden ordinary person, happened to step right into the line of fire. Private messages cursing my entire family were the least of it, some even dug up my and my family's contact information, calling and texting threats. Connor's comment section was flooded with thousands of messages, all accusing me of being an ungrateful stalker fan and a dead green tea who harasses my beloved brother and Laura's peaceful life. Nor did anyone know why Connor, who rarely appeared on social media, started frequently posting photos of himself on set. In every photo, there would always be Laura, still wearing the conspicuous necklace around her neck. Occasionally, I would still reply to a few comments about Qinglin CP, skipping over the ones that cursed me, letting fans across the web go crazy, while also confirming that I was indeed the annoying green tea bitch harassing him. Clara couldn't stand it and called him to scold him. Connor, you're hiding in your high-rise, aren't you? Can't you see how Sienna is being slammed online? What's with this act of playing dead again? Connor knew I was beside Clara and let out a cold laugh. Is it really necessary to have such a long Cold War? Don't think I don't understand you. On the surface, it seems calm, but in reality, those comments must be breaking you apart, right? These things are too much for you to handle alone. If you just soften up, apologize to me, and come home right now, all those targeting you will disappear. I hung up the phone. No matter how much I get scolded or cursed, I don't want to have anything to do with Connor anymore. The director sent a message, Sienna, we've wrapped up shooting, remember to come to the wrap party. I know you don't want to see Connor, but there are big shots from the investment side at the wrap party, definitely wealthy people, and they're looking for scripts. Enemies often cross paths. No sooner had I arrived at the banquet entrance than I ran into Connor. He had his arm around Laura, dressed in a sharp suit, his posture upright. His attire and makeup were not overly embellished, yet he stood out as the focal point of attention. Handsome, that was everyone's assessment of him. For 8 years, I had been persistently clinging to Connor, largely because of this handsome face, which has fulfilled my endless emotional value. Connor's fleeting gaze met mine, and he stepped towards me. Ignoring my lowered head as I didn't want to engage with him, he stopped in front of me, drawing the attention of the entire room to follow Connor and focus on me. Take a deep breath and lift your head. You still know how to come back. I thought you weren't planning to return. Have you revised the script for the next play? Remember to send it to me for a look. I roll my eyes silently. Connor, who is this dusty and disheveled young lady? Laura shook Connor's arm, her critical gaze scrutinizing me up and down. Oh right, is that the screenwriter Sienna? I hadn't really noticed you before, but I just saw your news online recently. Hello. I couldn't ignore her either, so I forced a smile and nodded at her. She let out a derisive laugh, her voice loud. Sorry, I just remembered some online comments calling you a toad. Laura covered her mouth and said, Connor is really a piece of swan meat that everyone covets, with all sorts of cats and dogs wanting to squeeze beside him, don't you think? She blinked at Connor, who slightly furrowed his brows and subtly withdrew his arm. The entire room fell into an eerie silence. During this time, the internet was filled with, and anyone could tell that Laura was implying something about me. Especially, the most influential Connor didn't show any reaction, so no one dared to speak up for me. Connor's eyebrows slightly raised, his expression subtly hinting at some anticipation. The director stood beside me with a full smile on his face. The makeup artist is waiting for both of you, as the lead actor will be making a speech shortly. Yeah, Connor, we have a couple's makeup look today. Oh, why do you have that expression? Were you too tired last night? Connor withdraws his gaze, his expression somber. It's nothing. The director pulled me over, pointing to the tall man who had just stepped out of the Bentley outside. That's Justin. They say he has a bit of a temper, so you'd better give it your all in the pitch. He shoved me forward. I froze the moment I saw that face. The corners of the eyes slightly raised, the nose bridge high and straight, exuding an aura of cold elegance even without a smile, and the eyes carried a superior scrutiny. For a moment, I was so struck by his handsomeness that I stood frozen in place, feeling that the person in front of me seemed somewhat familiar, unsure of what to say. Got a script? Justin raised an eyebrow, and only then did I snap out of it, hurriedly pulling out the script and handing it to him. He flipped through a few pages quite casually, nodding gently as he read, but my gaze was involuntarily drawn to those large hands with distinct knuckles. They seemed much more comfortable than Connor's. Do my hands look good? Before long, Justin closed the script, and as he lifted his gaze, his long eyelashes trembled slightly, his gentle eyes landing on my face. My mind went blank, and I stood rooted to the spot, giving a dry laugh and nodding, indeed, ha. He paused, a faint, almost imperceptible smile tugging at the corner of his lips. It's well written. We've read your previous works and have confidence in you. There are still some details that need refinement. I'll contact you later, and we can discuss how to make the necessary changes. Is this over? Just like that, so easily? Justin's gaze pierced right through me, making me somewhat uncomfortable, and I was so excited inside that I almost bowed a full 180 degrees. All right, thank you, Justin. The man's lips curved slightly into a smile as he stood up, his broad shoulders and narrow waist making me swallow hard. If you say Connor still retains a hint of youthful charm, Justin is entirely a mature, sexy man, easily leading one to involuntarily stray off the right path. You don't need to call me Justin, just call me Justin. I stood still for a moment, feeling that the name Justin seemed somewhat familiar. Perhaps it was a memory from too long ago, as I tried to recall, My head throbbed slightly, so I decided not to think about it anymore and found a small corner to revise the script. Occasionally, when I looked up, Connor was speaking on stage with a face as dark as the bottom of a pot, responding to Laura's interactions absent-mindedly throughout. Passing by a room during a break, I heard Connor and his good buddy talking. "Connor, that guy hasn't come back to see you for 3 months. Are you really going to break up? You guys have been together for 8 years, after all?" Connor lit a cigarette, his tone somewhat disdainful. "How could that be? She was at the wrap party today, wasn't she? It's just that Laura and I were too close, and she's jealous and throwing a tantrum. Women are just hard to please." There was a burst of laughter inside. "Didn't Connor find Sienna annoying, like she was sticking to you like gum? Now he's interested in her? Hilarious, then wasn't Laura's effort with you for nothing?" Connor seemed to push the person and chuckled. "How can you say that? I've come to realize that a man should have both his white moonlight and his cinnabar mole. Having the glamorous Laura by my side outside, and a devoted wife who only has eyes for me at home, who will cook for me in the future, isn't that quite good?" Connor paused for a moment, a slight smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Sienna has already written the script for my next film. After we finish shooting it, I'll propose to her at the wrap party and tell everyone about our relationship." Someone applauded and cheered. Truly worthy of Connor, making the official announcement at the peak of popularity, such a responsible man is a rare sight these days. Connor is really lucky, such a talented female screenwriter, and every male lead is tailor-made for you. I don't even know if I'll ever get such a suitable role in my lifetime. Connor remained non-committal, shrugging his shoulders. "She'll write scripts for me for the rest of her life. After all, she always says that I am the leading man in her life." I rolled my eyes in speechlessness. This was all from his Chinibu phase years ago, and he actually took it to heart. Just as he was about to leave, a cold voice echoed. "You're not." Justin gave Connor a cold glance. "Connor, right? Cut down on the smoking, your teeth are yellowing. Your public image is already enough as it is. Let me remind you, without Sienna's script and this face, you're nothing but a waste with terrifyingly bad acting." Connor furrowed his brows tightly, unaware that his good buddies around him had all fallen silent. "Humph, you're the guy who was chatting with Sienna just now? Who do you think you are, pointing fingers like that? I'm not the leading man, so what, you are?" Justin glanced at him and burst out laughing. A mad dog in human skin pretending to be a great lover. Sienna wasted 8 years of her youth on such a thing, you really must be flattered. A short sentence made Connor clench his knuckles with a cracking sound, even raising his fist. Don't, someone quickly restrained Connor, repeatedly bowing and smiling apologetically to the man. "Sorry, Justin, this guy is drunk and talking nonsense to you. You're a big man, please forgive him." Justin didn't even spare them a glance, striding out with an unflappable demeanor. "Know your place. Without Sienna's love now, you are nothing." Connor's voice was almost clenched with fury. "You freaking say that again." He was grabbed and his mouth covered again, muttering under his breath. "Connor, you've gone mad. That man is Justin, the biggest investor in this place. All your shows for the past 8 years have been funded by him. He's your golden benefactor. Do you still want to survive in the entertainment industry?" The room finally quieted down, and everyone felt a sense of relief, except for Connor, who was angrily panting. "Sienna, are you satisfied now?" Justin stepped out the door and immediately looked down at me, his voice gentle, as if he were a different person from the one in the room. My foot, which had been in mid-step, paused in the air, and I scratched my head, giving him a sheepish grin. "Heh, Justin, you really know how to talk. So kind to help a stranger out of a bind." Justin paused for a moment, his eyes crinkling in a smile, mimicking my voice. Heh. On such a cold face, it really is. For a moment, I was so embarrassed that my toes curled. "Just call me Justin," he said, reaching his hand above my head, pausing for a second before withdrawing it. "As long as you're happy." I watched Justin silently leave, feeling that his back seemed more desolate than usual. I was ready to go too, but Connor rushed out and grabbed my arm, pulling me into the small compartment. Sienna, were you just talking to Justin? What did he say to you? What's your relationship now? What does he mean by saying I'm not the main character? You think it means whatever you think it means. I really don't want to deal with this person, who just now belittled me to nothing, and now pretends to be so concerned about me. Wanted to leave, but he pulled her back into his embrace. Sienna, you have to tell me clearly today, who exactly is he to you? Why is he so protective of you? Connor's gaze upon me grew more scrutinizing. I haven't seen him before. Why are you two so familiar? Did you cheat on me? I finally couldn't take it anymore. Raising my hand, I left a red mark on his face. Tears of grievance welled up in my eyes again. Connor, how can you say that? Who exactly cheated? Do you really think I know nothing about it? Connor froze, his lips turning pale in an instant. You know everything? Phew, alright, let me explain. That time Laura spiked the drink, I was completely unconscious. It was a setup. I had planned to tell you later. I sneered. Oh, playing the innocent again. You don't know? You don't know you use me as a tool for comparison, bringing up such things in front of friends, and saying my skills are poor? Yes, she's skilled, go spend the rest of your life with someone skilled. I really didn't want to get too entangled with him, struggling to break free, but he held me tighter and tighter. He even disregarded my resistance, lifting my chin as if to kiss me. Sienna, you won't be angry, it's been 8 years and you've never been angry. You know, we're all adults now, and we can't hang ourselves from a single tree, right? I ignore your improper relationship with Justin, you forgive my actions taken out of ignorance, I know you will definitely give me another chance. My stomach churned in waves, and I felt that if this continued, I would be completely sullied. I lifted my foot to kick him. The door of the stall was kicked open first. Someone with immense strength pulled me away, and Connor was sent flying with a kick. Yes, kicked away. Connor's entire body was pressed against the wall, the fabric over his chest caving in. Someone gently wiped away my tears, their eyes filled with deep concern, their gaze towards Connor turning into sharp knives. Connor, it's okay, Jeong, Justin, I shook my head with tears, a few words stopping the man. Thank you, you've done more than enough. The rest is up to me. Justin clamped his mouth shut, biting his lips tightly, and shot Connor a fierce glare before leaving, which sent Connor into a cold sweat. Before I was ushered away by Justin, he gritted his teeth and shouted at me, Sienna, it's been 8 years, are you really going to leave me? As I was preparing to leave the wrap party, Laura clung to Connor, insisting on drinking a croissant toast, saying she wanted to shoot a sweet video for the CP fans. Connor raised his hand and knocked the glass of red wine away, not even glancing at her, his gaze closely following me out the door. Handing out candy? Who said anything about handing out candy with you? Stop being so affectionate here, shut up. I didn't turn back even once. Laura's eyes instantly reddened, tearfully dabbing her eyes. Connor, how can you say such things about me? I told you to shut up, are you brain dead, can't you understand? Connor rolled his eyes at her in annoyance. As I rushed out the door right behind him, I found that it was pouring outside. Justin held an umbrella for me, shielding me as I got into the car. A curtain of rain separated him from us. I sighed and averted my gaze. Let's part on good terms, Connor. Justin looked at me, his voice softening slightly. Sienna, you. I smile at him. Xiao Zhou, it's been 10 years since we last saw each other. You've grown so much and become so impressive. The car falls silent for a moment. Justin's hand on the steering wheel trembles slightly, and the corner of his mouth involuntarily curls up. After taking several deep breaths, he finally spoke, his tone carrying an unusual lift. Sister Sienna, you finally remember me. What else? The mole on your collarbone, there might not be a second one like it in the world. I remembered the loose neckline when he had just pulled me into his embrace. Wait a minute, you wouldn't have intentionally shown it to me, would you? Justin raised an eyebrow, the corners of his eyes lifting, his expression quite like that of a sly fox. Sienna is brilliant, she saw right through it, Justin said with a smile playing at the corner of his mouth. To you, I'm just a fox, no different from the thousands and thousands of other foxes. The radio in the car played a line from The Little Prince, and Justin spoke the next line. But if you tame me, then we shall need each other. The Little Prince was a bedtime story I often told him during our childhood. My mother worked at an orphanage and took me with her almost every day, which is how I met Justin, who was 3 years younger than me. His personality is solitary and coldly proud, so I took him by the hand and introduced him to everyone, and I would also tease him about how he could have a heart-shaped mole. On rainy days, we would curl up in the book corner, and I would read The Little Prince to him. He would blush as he wove the hair I had shed into a ring, saying that when he grew up, he would replace it with a real ring for Sienna's sister. I would say that when Xiaozhou grows up, we will get married. After spending 11 years like this, Justin was recognized and taken in by a billionaire, becoming a genuine wealthy person in the Zhejiang circle. Mom believed that the orphanage should not disturb the children who had left, so we lost contact. Although occasionally in the dead of night, memories of the young boy from the faded old days in the orphanage resurface, causing my heart to beat rapidly, I still hesitate to disturb him. Fate twisted and turned, bringing us together again at my most disheveled moment. Outside, the rain poured down heavily, and the enclosed space of the car gradually warmed up. Sienna, do the words you said back then still hold true? I hesitated slightly before nodding with a faint smile. After the wrap party, it should have been the most fervent period for the CP fans, yet the CLCP suddenly fell silent. More and more people began posting to express their departure from the fandom. Connor has been walking around with a dark face every day during the roadshow, completely ignoring Laura. There's no chemistry at all. Connor really doesn't even bother anymore, not even retweeting interactive posts, and his eyes always drift away, never looking at Laura on sight. Connor also doesn't know what kind of madness he's having, deleting all posts related to Laura, and even sending a lawyer's letter to the big fan of the CP, accusing them of spreading rumors, and demanding that all CP fans delete their posts and apologize. The fan base of this drama was originally a large group of CP fans. The fans felt deceived and even stabbed in the back by the main characters. In an instant, almost all the CP fans turned into haters of the two. The entire series was utterly ruined, and all the stakeholders involved were extremely disgusted with Connor. Connor's actions undoubtedly upset everyone's interests, causing the investors' stock prices to soar continuously, which angered them to the point of making direct statements. Episodes with Connor in them won't get a dime of investment. I was busy revising a new script at Justin's house, occasionally receiving 1 or 2 strange text messages. Sienna, Laura, and I will have no relationship whatsoever. Your necklace is still with me, can you come to see me just once? Connor's erratic behavior left his agent in a state of utter chaos, with continuous phone calls for several days, pleading desperately for me to talk some sense into Connor. His promising future was being squandered by his own actions, and they believed only I could bring him back to normalcy. What does it have to do with me, was all I replied. A new drama starts filming, and I'm not surprised to see Connor at the entrance of the set. The security guard stops him, unrelated personnel are not allowed in. Connor looks at me from a distance. It's only been a month since we last met, but he now has heavy dark circles under his eyes and a bit more stubble around his lips. This disheveled appearance, who would have thought that just a month ago, he was the hottest movie star across the internet? I walked towards him, and his murky eyes lit up, eagerly asking me, Sienna, I knew you would come here. I'm an actress now too. In this play, I'm portraying a poor woman who gets cheated on after 8 years of love. I laughed at him. Connor froze, his hands awkwardly crossing over each other. Connor, do you think there's still a chance? It's been 8 years, we can't possibly. The man standing in front of her, a towering 1.8 meters tall, instantly reddened around the eyes. After hanging his head for a long while, his words came out stammeringly. Why your birthday? Sienna, the script isn't finished yet, so how did you get entangled with a homeless person? Justin strode up to my side, put his arm around my shoulder, and scanned Connor with an unapologetic gaze. Security guard, don't let these unknown creatures in. I'm afraid a perfectly good film crew might get infected with rabies. Alright, Justin. The security guard stepped forward to shoo away Connor. Can you get out of the way? Don't you have any sense? Can't you see the relationship between that beautiful woman and Justin? I watched as Connor was chased away, feeling a pang of sadness. What are you still looking at? Justin stood in front of me, blocking all my view. Bending down, he blew a breath gently into my ear, making me shiver with ticklishness. Next time, don't let me catch you looking at another man with that kind of gaze. I also laughed. Alright, whose jar of vinegar has tipped over again? On my birthday, Justin looked at me with a smile in his eyes as I blew out the candles and handed me a beautifully wrapped silk box. Take a look? Buzz. My phone kept vibrating, an unknown number calling in. Justin and I exchanged a glance and each sighed. Sister Sienna, can you let me handle him directly? Justin crossed his arms, pouting childishly. I'm just waiting for your word. As soon as you say it, I'll make sure he never bothers you again. I answered the phone. Sienna, I have something I want to say to you. I looked at Justin. I want to go down for a bit, is that okay? Justin. Alright. Justin helped me put on my coat and leaned down to kiss my forehead. Anything you want, as long as it's not falling in love with someone else. It was already the dead of winter, with a blizzard raging outside. Connor, without an umbrella, stood stiffly in place all alone. I walked towards Connor, Justin following my suggestion, leaning against the doorframe without coming over, but his gaze was fixed intently on us. Sienna, don't you care about me anymore? These 8 years we've had. Stop it, Connor. I shook my head at him. Don't put on that victim's expression anymore. Consider these 8 years as you accumulating experience for me. It also saved me from being deceived by a man with poor skills, right? Connor hesitated for a moment, instinctively explaining. I apologize, I shouldn't have made fun of and ridiculed you with others, it really was my fault. The matter with Laura, it wasn't just because of the medication, there were also reasons on my part. Are you really aware of your mistake? I smiled as I interrupted him again. Connor's eyes were red. It's not that, you just know that I don't want you anymore. You want everything. You want me to cook for you, you want me to be the pillar of your career, you want my undivided attention and loyalty, and you even want to have 1 foot in 2 boats. I turned around and asked him calmly. Are you worthy? Connor's expression was tinged with despair, almost rigidly standing in place. The moment I turned around, Justin had already reached my side and suddenly lifted me off the ground. Good, close your eyes. His Adam's apple bobbed as he let out a soft laugh. Let him see clearly who the real couple is. I kissed back. In the warm room, Justin handed me a finely wrapped red silk box. The box was lined with sponge, holding that emerald necklace. Justin's hands wrapped around me from behind. Sienna, is this your necklace? I smiled as I handed the necklace to him. Now it's your necklace too. Sienna just mentioned accumulating 8 years of experience. I'd like to learn from you as well. The candlelight cast his pupils in an amber hue. So now, am I paying the tuition?